Congratulations, we saw the film. It was really, really great. But, in India, I mean, not necessarily everyone has seen or read the Civil War comics. So for them, you guys are still superheroes and there's infighting. How do you think the Indian fans are going to react to something like that?
Hopefully it'll be entertaining. I think it's always exciting when you see characters who are familiar with one another becoming conflicted. I think it's easy to watch a film where you have a good guy fighting a bad guy, but when you have friends fighting friends, I think that's far more relatable to the struggles we go through in life. A lot of times the fights that we go through in our day-to-day existence is more with our friends and family as opposed to our enemy.
I think they're going to love it. I mean, we do these movies hoping one day we could be in a Bollywood movie. It's like we love Indian culture. That would be amazing, but American actors don't have that opportunity. One of the biggest Indian stars in Bollywood is now a huge success on American TV right now. Yeah. And we want those same opportunities. So I think they're going to react to it well because it's themes, it's characters that Indian people can relate to.
We could do a Bollywood movie.
We could do a Bollywood movie.
Yeah?
See that? See that?
Yeah. Exactly.
See? I can do Bollywood.
Well, I mean, if they've been watching the Marvel movies up till this point, they'll see that Captain America and Iron Man haven't had the best relationship. There's a lot of rivalry there and a lot of tension. And that spills over and boils over in this movie. And, there's a key issue that gets introduced, which is the governments of the world want to regulate the superheroes. And should they be regulated? And that key issue really divides the family of the Avengers.
Yeah. In India especially, when we were growing up, Batman and Superman were the more famous ones. We didn't know that Iron Man even existed because of the comic books. But now, post-2000, the Marvel Studios have just, they are the biggest thing in India. I mean, everybody is following Captain America. Why do you think is that happening?
God, I don't know. I mean, they seem to have a very winning formula in terms of making good movies. So I think it's just people go where there's good cinema.
It's very difficult. It takes a lot of balancing. To make sure that you're servicing all the characters properly. It was very important to my brother and I that when the audience watched the movie, that they leave the theater feeling very conflicted about who was wrong and who was right. So you have to put a lot of thought into that.
Considering this film is about, friends fighting, let's talk about Team Cap. Which one of you is a better wingman? You are a wingman.
I'm the wingman of all wingmans.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not about friends fighting. This is more of a family film. If you look at the 10 people who are, or the 12 people that are fighting, it's more like siblings fighting, than friends. I think all of us are right.
It's a lot more like The Godfather that way.
Oh, I love, yeah.
In terms of the stereotypes.
Very good.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. A lot more like The Godfather than it is All in the Family.
This is your third film in the franchise. Does it give you time to play anything else as an actor? Or I know that you've directed a film.
Yeah. I mean, I try to be selective. It's just because you have a big movie in the theaters doesn't mean you should go make movies all the time. I really enjoy my downtime too. So you try and be very, very, very picky when you choose to go to work. Doing Snowpiercer or choosing to direct. Those are the few things that I've kind of decided to give my time to. But other than that, I really like just going home and I like taking a break.
There's a lot of CGI in the film. Does it make acting that much more difficult for people?
It is.
I think so because he said it earlier. You gotta go home and look at a tennis ball.
That's what
for
you're doing.
about an hour, and then you're gonna get close to what we're getting to do at times.
And have a conversation with that tennis ball, and then respond when that tennis ball talks back to you. That's what you're doing. Yeah. Acting with Sebastian is like acting with a tennis ball. Yes.
It's like Wilson, Tom Hanks, Wilson.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good.
Two new characters in the film. Spider-Man and Black Panther, of course, but Spidey was a great cameo. We saw the film. Would you have liked to introduce the character yourself, considering it's Captain America Civil War?
Sure. Well, that's not how it is in the comic books. That's the side that he fights on. It's more appropriate to kind of have him on that side of the equation.
We worked really hard to get those characters in the movie. It was important to us that we not just have two sides. So that's why we want to add Black Panther into the movie, because he's a character who doesn't honor either side. He has his own agenda, and he can complicate the storytelling. Spider-Man, it was important to have because we wanted some comic relief in the movie. And the characters who are the main Avengers are involved in something that's very heavy. has a lot of stakes, and if they started making jokes, then they hurt the movie. So we had to bring in characters like Spider-Man and Ant-Man, who didn't have the same investment in the conflict, and it allows them to make more jokes in the film.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be my next question. I mean, this humor, I mean, the film is very, I mean, there's a lot of humor in the film as well. I mean, considering a lot of what the comic book films that we've been seeing in the recent past are pretty dark.
We like to balance it out. I mean, just personally, the kinds of movies that I like to see on screen, I liked very balanced storytelling. You know, going to the movies, you pay money to see the film. That's a commodity. And, you know, for that experience, I prefer to laugh and cry and be upset and be happy and get angry and be scared versus just laughing or just crying. I'll take all of those. So we work really hard to try and put all of that into the storytelling.
You know, this is the third phase of this entire universe. I mean, we've never seen something like this happen. There are different directors directing different films. You'll be directing 2 more for the franchise. I mean, do you have to coordinate with other directors to take the story forward? How does it work?
We do. We coordinate through Marvel. We coordinate with each other. We're all very close. We're very close with a lot of the other directors. We text each other a lot. We email a lot. It's like United Artists. It's a collective. And we're all working hard to tell good stories, and we help each other to tell those stories because we're sharing characters. So there is a lot of conversations that go back and forth.
So when you were growing up, were you necessarily a Marvel comic fan, or were you following one of the DC characters?
No, I really didn't know much about the comic books at all. You know, growing up, I was watching, you know, Bugs Bunny cartoons and things like that, so I kind of had to familiarize with myself with the comic books much later.
Yeah, I didn't read comic books growing up. I was more of a Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, Maurice Sendak. I read a lot of like more adventure stories than I did comic books.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Me neither. Power Rangers is maybe as close as I got to anything.
No,
Just being into a movie.
I never
Teenage
liked
Mutant
Power
Ninja
Rangers.
Turtles. I did that too.
Love the Turtles.
There are Bollywood actors who are now working for Hollywood films, being Deepika Padukone and Priyanka Chopra, doing all of that. Do you see Marvel getting like an Indian superhero maybe into their?
I do. I think so, and I think that it's very important that we keep diversifying the universe as much as we possibly can. The stories become better stories the more diverse they are. The more that people around the world can relate to these characters. So I think it's very important that we keep striving for diversity.
Let's talk about us doing Bollywood. How can we make this happen? You know some producers? Can you get us over there?
We can go on a talk show also.
I'll do Bollywood talk shows. I've been to Mumbai.
We could do a dance number.
Do a dance number. Oh, look at that.
Just do
I mean, he's already in a Bollywood film.
I know. Exactly.
How do you get us in Bollywood?
How do I get into Bollywood? You take my number, you give me a call. I'll talk to a lot of producers that I know there.
You know producers
I
there?
know a lot of producers.
Are you serious?
If you to say yes, I will produce it myself.
We're coming.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Vikram.
Thank you.